Hello viewers, in this video let's learn about exception handling with try and catch blocks, um, and then we'll look at the sample Java program on how it is implemented. First, a few notes. Exception handling ensures that the flow of the program doesn't break when an exception occurs. What are the differences between errors and exceptions? Errors indicate something severe enough has gone wrong, thereby the application should crash rather than try to handle the error. Whereas exceptions are events that occur in the code. A programmer can handle such conditions and take necessary corrective actions. Types of exceptions in Java. There are two types of exceptions, checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. All exceptions other than the runtime exceptions are called checked exceptions. These exceptions are caught by the compiler during compilation. Examples of these are SQLExceptions, IOExceptions, ClassNotFoundExceptions. Unchecked exceptions are runtime exceptions. These exceptions should be handled by the programmer and provide a safe exit. Examples of these are arithmetic exceptions, null pointer exceptions, and array out of bound exceptions. There are many more, but these are just a few as examples. Now let's look at a simple Java program. I have written a class where the field is an array of size 10, and I have a function which takes two integers as inputs and then provides the quotient for it, which is num2 by num1. And I have my main function where I declare the object as an instance of the class, and then I call the function divide, and then I assign a value to the eighth element of the array, 200. And then I put that in the try block. Once the try block exits, I write my catch blocks. So one catch block is for arithmetic exception, saying like if my denominator is 0, then catch the exception and print this, do this. So basically I give this, I print out this text and then I add the exception here. And in array index out of bounds exception, if this happens, print this one out and then print out the exception. So this is what it does. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the happy scenario where everything should work fine and there should be no exceptions. So once I run this, so this works. So this is 24 by 2, so 12 that comes, and then I array 8 is equal to 100. No issues, so no complaints. Now let's do this. Let's change the denominator to 0 and see if the arithmetic exception is caught and it enters our catch block. Yes, it does. Denominator needs to be greater than 0 and Java lang arithmetic exception divided by 0. That's what the exception is here, which is concatenated. Now let's see if it checks for out of bound. Since the size of the array is 10, I'm going to assign the 25th value, which does not exist, to 100 and see if the array index out of bounds exception comes into play. So here you go. First, since we've corrected the input for the function divide as 2, so you get the 24 by 2 is 12, that works. And then since we are assigning the 25th element and the size of the array is only 10, it comes to this catch block and then prints out exception has occurred, cannot assign a value to an index greater than the size of the array, and then concatenates the exception. So these are try and catch blocks. These are very elementary examples, but it's a good starting point. I hope this is clear. Thank you.